I mean, do we have it yet? Oh, we have it now. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh my God. What's up, guys? Welcome to Law Explaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And this is how my day is going. This is how my day is going. That transcript is just not coming out, which is lovely. Hold on. Everything's a pain right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm having a day. I'll confide in you guys in just a little bit here. But I'm having a day today. What is this stuff? Oh my God. Waiting for the transcript from the Vic hearing. It is taking an exceptionally long time. So thank you very much to the court reporter who is doing it. I assume you are doing a fantastic job, and that is what is taking so long. So long. But I don't have a transcript for you today. That's why today is a mix of whiskey review and Vic topics. I don't know how long the stream is going to go today, guys. I'm having a bad day. And I'm very sorry about that. And I'm going to share with you my personal life just a little bit. So you can understand why I'm having a bad day. And, yeah. And we'll talk about some of the twits and twats on Twitter a little bit. And, did you guys know that now it's Vic's fault that Mars Girl was kicked off of Twitter? I hope you guys know that. It's Vic's fault that Mars Girl was kicked off of Twitter. That's from the brilliant mind of Emmett Initiative, who's basically, a tomato. He hasn't upgraded to potato. He's just a tomato walking around. I see one. Thank you, Vic. Yes. That's the appropriate reaction. Is thank you, Vic, for knocking Mars Girl off of Twitter. She deserved it. I saw someone out there who follows my Rekieta Media account lamenting that somebody reported Mars Girl because of cancel culture or whatever. Look. Mars Girl made her bed, and she can lie in it. I mean, her arms can lie in other beds, because it doesn't matter how big of a bed it is. It's not big enough for her arms. But she made this bed. She made it. And we have no idea who ended up getting her removed from Twitter other than Vic. It was clearly Vic's fault. We have no idea who did that. But whoever did it didn't force her to engage in hateful conduct either. You know? So welcome to it, Mars Girl. Come on in. The water's fine. Welcome to being banned on Twitter. You weren't relevant there anyway. Just like you aren't relevant anywhere else. So she's gone. Who cares? Pile of garbage swept under the Twitter rug. And I'm sure she'll be back, right? She is the appropriate brand of think that I'm sure Mars Girl will eventually be back. Although maybe she'll get Dominique's Guide off of Twitter. Who knows? Who knows? I do find it funny that it's somehow Vic's fault. Vic has never suggested that people do anything like this. Vic is barely on Twitter. I don't think he's the one who reported Mars Girl's account, but let's not mince anything here. If it's Vic's fault that Mars Girl is off Twitter, good. That dumb bitch went with a story that she seemed to indicate that she knew was false. Went with it anyway, with the intent of destroying his career. She can eat a whole bowl of shit for all I care. Who cares? These people destroy lives. Have we forgotten that these people set out to destroy the lives of people they don't like? For any number of minor infraction or inconvenience, they decide that the person shouldn't eat. And we're bitching that they're kicked off of Twitter? Oh my God, get over it. Jesus Christ. Having a bad day. I'm having a bad day. Well, let's do this. This is the whiskey I'm reviewing today. It is appropriately named. As I said, it's an appropriately named Japanese whiskey. Let's see if we can get it in frame here. It's called Fuyu. Wait, there we go. Fuyu. So Fuyu today. Fuyu Mars Girl and Fuyu to a bunch of fatzos out there that just no one cares. So I found this. This is a cheap Japanese whiskey. It's like $35 for this. So it's got a screw top. Fuyu means winter, I know. It says it on the back. I learned it. Fuyu means winter in Japanese. I don't know if you can read that. It's kind of tiny. But Fuyu. Let's give it a sip and then follow it up with a finish. Okay, give me a second here. Smells a little acrid. Like a $35 whiskey, like I said, so that's to be expected. It's not the worst thing I've drank. It's not great. Sour. Got a sour taste. Oh, it hangs around the mouth. Go away. Oh. Ugh. Okay, America. I saw someone mention it. That was worse. But it was also sour, but it had the sweet of the bourbon. This one's not as sour. The burn in it is not terribly strong. It's a really muted flavor. Like, I wonder if this is a blended. Small batch. Malted grain and mashed corn on Honshu Island before resting in oak barrels. Its rich flavors make it ideal for cocktails. Oh, that's how you know you got a good sipping whiskey right there. When they recommend straight out of the gate, put it in something else for the love of God. Nose, floral and youthful aromas. Nah, with caramel and spicy notes. Maybe. Palate, generous oak and cooked fruit finish with a hint of smokiness. There ain't a damn bit of smokiness in this whiskey. Not at all. This is not, nope. There's no smokiness. That whole thing was a lie. The tasting notes are completely incorrect. I think I get the bit of spice. I don't know. Let's put this down. Oh, God. I do not like how that comes back up. That is not pleasant. Oh. Oh. Well then. My review of Fuyu is don't. God, why? Ugh. Oh, wait. No. This one. Oh. Wow. That might actually be worse than America bourbon. Ugh. Is this loss? Oh my God, that was terrible. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. Okay. Okay. We've got NFF says, hi, Nick and First. I know the con, and if confirmed, I will bring Lefroy quarter cask, and we can get cigars across the road from the con. Also, can't wait for all the reading on your announcement post. Hope to see you there. Also, mailed ya. I think you mean emailed ya, and I did get your emails. Thank you. Yeah, I hope to see you there too. I would love to go. Okay. Oh, and there was one more. Siren Jag says, Nick, did you see the Thought Thulu on Twitter, who is in the polyamorous relationship, who is now pregnant? Not only is she as fat as she is fat, but I bet she'll give birth to one of those hecaton shears from Greek myth that will be cast into Tartarus. What? Who are you talking about? What giant Thought Thulu on Twitter in a poly relationship is now pregnant? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Gross. Arctic Pride says, here's some bucks to get yourself some Fuyu persimmons. Probably the only way you're getting something labeled Fuyu that actually tastes decent. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Check Flash's Twitter. I'll do it right now. This is a very informal show. This is a very informal show. So I apologize for that. Let's see. It's a trash fire. Wait, here we go. What is that? Oh. Oh, God. Why? Okay, we're watching this video. Oh, Christ. Just a second. I'm bringing it over just for you guys. Here we go. Aha! Getting the hang of this again. All right. Oh! No, that's not what I wanted.
This is Tori.
No, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Can I zoom in? I want you guys to suffer a little bit too. Okay, there we go. That's the appropriate size. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this monstrosity with, oh my God, what are these guys doing with their lives? No, gentlemen, no.
This is Tori. She fell in love with Travis. And Ethan.
Okay. How many bus stops has Travis masturbated in? Today. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ethan. And Mark. And Chris.
Oh, really?
The relationship is working wonders for them.
The relationship could best be described by having Tori as the hub and all of us are...
The hub? The hub? The bitch is a whole spaceport. Good God.
Folks on a giant wheel.
But not everyone.
A giant wheel. Wrecked by your Thursday boy.
Everyone understands the dynamic.
I was like, oh, you're kidding, that you're joking.
How will this poly relationship cope with a further addition to the family?
And so who's the father of the baby?
Actually, only one of them knows. And it's the one who watches the actual dude come and plow her.
This is Tori.
Oh, God. What a hideous relationship. No! I'm going to say it definitively. No. Nope. First of all, I don't care. I'm not the poly relationship thing. You're not selling me. I don't think they procreated. That's the thing. I actually don't think that anybody on that couch had anything to do with that baby. Which may be worse. Maybe it should be the weird, sad guy with the like, oh, what was that? What's wrong with the world? What's the world coming to? Okay. I'm sorry. Like I said, this stream's a little disjointed because I'm disjointed. For those of you who don't know, you probably don't. I don't know why you would. I have one remaining grandparent. I have one remaining grandparent, and it looks like, sometime maybe tomorrow I will have 0 remaining grandparents. So, I got that news, mostly today. So I'm having a little bit of a bad day. I can't get down to Texas. Most of my family will be there. I will not, because I can't get down there by tomorrow, right? So that kind of sucks. But that's the way it goes. So I'm having a bad day because of that. And I don't have any tolerance for fat, weird, polyamorous things. I don't care at all. Yeah, that's disgusting. And hopefully Child Protective Services comes and takes the baby in the hospital and gives it to an appropriate parent, because whatever that was that's not happening. Nope. Not flute musician. That was a lot of kanji. Were you reviewing the same whiskey I was? Anyway, so that's how it's going, which is fine. That's part of life, right? Loss is part of life, and that's okay. I can't say it's been a long time coming. I can say it's been a long time coming, but when I say that, you'd have to understand that this person has endured so many different ailments over the years. that they've been on and off sick for 30 years. But when I say that, you might picture that they've been like sick, bedridden, like, oh, constantly. No, it's like these phases and waves of sickness and recovery and sickness and recovery. We're talking seizures, brain tumors, various cancers, a brown recluse bite. Lived through a brown recluse bite. That's cool, right? Half of their body is metal. Anyway, like going to the airport is an actual comedy show. Just gone through so many different things, so many different sicknesses. Ended up outliving all of my other grandparents. And if you were a betting person, you would have bet against this one making it to the end. You really would have. So when I say it's been a long time coming, because it's been like a 30-year process of sickness, but then recovery. But there wasn't any indication that it was coming now. So it's very, very fast moving, very surprising. And yeah, so a little bit of a bummer. But that is part of life. I wish I could be there to hang out with some cousins and stuff like that at this time, but I can't. What's pissing me off is that this effing transcript of the Vic hearing should have been done on Tuesday or Wednesday or today, and it just isn't done. Because I just want to hang out with you guys. And I really, like, after the events of today and all of that nonsense, all I wanted to do was come on here and hang out with you guys and laugh at Lemoyne getting just, broken down on the stand by the judge. That's what I wanted to do. I don't read runes, man. I can't do it. So that's what I wanted to do, and I don't get to do that, and that's pissing me off too. Nothing has happened in Meyer versus Wade either. Nothing's been filed, I don't think. I checked earlier today, but it was before close of business. Let me see. Let me check right now. Nope, we've still just got that pretrial conference, January 7th. Still don't know if they've got jurisdiction or not. It's almost been 90 days. The 16th, somewhere around the 16th, maybe the 15th will be 90 days. And that could be when we have a ruling. I guess they're just going to stretch it out to 90 days. I don't know why. You never know why it takes so long for them to pen a decision. Cesario JPN says, my respectful condolences, Nick. At least you're in good spirits, literally and figuratively, and in good company. I'm always in good company so long as I'm with Lady Rackets. And I do consider you guys to be good company as well. So I appreciate that very much. Good spirits. This Fuyu is not a good spirit. Eric Stein says, my grandfather passed this morning. I am with you, buddy. Peace to him, peace to you and your family. And I will in Atlanta, and I will be in Atlanta. Don't know if I'll make it back for service, but they're trying to route me back, so I understand. Bad day. I've been cracking death jokes all day with friends, so deal with it in... Yeah, I'm guessing you're going to say deal with it in your own way. But yeah, with you, pal. It sucks. To be, I have not been able to make it. All of my grandparents were in Texas. And I have not made it to any of their funerals. But I got to go to my grandmother who passed, I got to go to her wake. But I had to leave that night before the funeral. So that was lame, but that was the close I've gotten. My other two grandparents who had passed, I was not able to make it to their funerals. So we'll see about this one. I don't know. I may be making a pit stop down in Texas sometime pretty soon. So they can't ban him because he just comes back with another one. But just ignore him. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is come on here, have a good time with the transcripts. We don't have that. We don't have that, but we do. Let me see. I'm going to pull up the appeal documents. We'll take a peek at what they're putting in the record. There's not a lot to do with the appeal documents today. I mean, they're there. We haven't looked at them, so that's why I was planning on taking a gander at them. But I don't. Again, ultimately, I don't know how long this stream is going to go. Mainly because, you know, there's not a ton to talk about. Oh, I do want to let you guys know. So I've been researching COPA. Everybody needs to chill the hell out about COPA. And I'm going to have a short video coming out about COPA very, very soon. I would have liked to work on it today, but it didn't work out. I took my kids, Lady Rackets and we took the kids to go see Frozen 2, which is very meh. It's fine, you know. But we went to go see Frozen 2, and so that was a fun activity. But that also soaked up some time I was hoping to use on COPA. I taught today, and I got a haircut. That was nice. But so I spent the day reading COPA, reading the YouTube decision, the YouTube settlement. Everybody needs to chill out. That's my legal advice. Chill the hell out on COPA. The FTC, I get it. Some guy at the FTC said they're going to maybe fine YouTubers for non-compliance. I'm going to explain it in a little more detail in the video, but no. I mean, they can try, and the first person they try, they're going to probably pick a big channel. They're going to probably try and set some example. And that guy, if they have any brain, will hire an attorney and will wipe the ever-loving shit out of the FTC. They'll wipe it all and they'll shove it right back in their mouths. If they go after a YouTube creator, they are going to get absolutely hammered. And they'll end up paying the fees of that YouTube creator, and it'll be a big, stupid mess. The idea that the FTC is going to fine a YouTube creator was probably an offhanded comment by some idiot who has no idea how dumb that would be. And I'm probably describing the director of the FTC, to be fair. Because these government workers, half the time, don't know the law that they're purportedly enforcing. And there's no way the FTC is going to be doing this to small creators. So everybody, just please relax about COPA. Just relax. It's not coming for you. It's not coming for you at all. It's not coming for me. If anything, it's going to come for some channel with like 10 million subscribers. And when it does, that annual multi-millionaire channel will easily have the resources to bury the FTC in their own feces. All right. So there is basically a 0 chance that they win that case. Magnus Borson says, have a drink on me. My grandma is not long for this world either. I feel for you. Thanks, pal. Will do. General John Wallace, I will read all of your super chats, pal. I will. Brian Dewig says, pour a good one out for your grandparent. None of this cheap stuff. I'll get it. I just got to finish the one that's in the cup here. Bryce Byerly says, I'm sure your explanation will be great, but I want to start a GoFundMe to get Chris Hook Esquire to explain Copa to us gay boys. Oh my God, I want to talk to that guy. Chris Hook. Jeez. Should I email him right now? That seems like a worthy thing. Let's see if we can email him right now. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? Where did I put that file? I'll just find it again. I know where it is here. Gosh, that guy is so funny. That made it to the Above the Law blog. The Above the Law blog is a pile of trash, by the way. I've no love for the Above the Law blog, but it made it there today. So that was funny. Wait a minute, is this a federal case? Oh, baby. Document list, where are we? Federal case, here we come. I could pull these documents right now. Alan Baker, huh? Pacer search. We've got a, what is that stupid? 19 CV 08024. 19-CV-08024. Alan Baker versus Allstate. Oh boy, I thought this was in California State Court and was going to be a little bit more annoying. Let's see if we got this. Order on motion to dismiss case. Let's see. On November... hold on. We got to see what's going on here. Let me pull this over for you guys. We get it set up. So that chain of emails was set... oh my God. Favorite this bad boy. Oh, come on. Ah, how annoying. Hold on one second. What? No. That one. 19-CV-08024. Search. Favorite. Save it. There we go. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I feel I'm running this thing like a complete amateur today. But, all right. So this is... the motion to dismiss the case. What a bunch of babies. Okay, here we go. I'm getting this pulled up. Sorry. I'm going to apologize 100 times, but I got to laugh at this guy. All right, here we go. So here's this case. This is Alan Baker and Linda Oliver versus Allstate Insurance Company, Edward Carrasco, and Does 1 through 10. Defendant Allstate Insurance Company hereby applies for an ex parte order. So they're asking the judge to rule on this without input from opposing counsel. 1, dismissing this action. 2, disqualifying Christopher Hook as plaintiff's counsel. 3, restraining Mr. Hook from communicating with or approaching Allstate or its attorneys. 4, halting the depositions noticed by plaintiffs from proceeding. And 5, awarding sanctions of $6,370 against Mr. Hook. Allstate brings this application because Mr. Hook has engaged in continuing abusive and intolerable conduct, including sending numerous profanity-laced emails. It's laced with profanity, guys. So the profanity is in there, enhancing the emails and making them stronger than they are, which is true. Using discriminatory epithets. You gay boys. Ah! Look at how they have to word their cowardice. Using discriminatory epithets and repeatedly threatening physical violence against Allstate's witnesses. Yeah, he's going to actually waterboard them. That's what he meant. He's going to actually waterboard them. Allstate's attorneys and their families. Allstate makes this application under Local Rule 719, Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 65, and the court's inherent authority to regulate its docket and the conduct of its attorneys. The application is based on the supporting memorandum, the declaration of Peter H. Klee, and exhibits and such other evidence as the court may consider. So these gay boys are really mad at Christopher Hook. Here's what the court ruled on. On November 26th, defendant Allstate Insurance Company filed an ex parte application against plaintiffs Alan Baker and Linda Oliver. In that application, defendant requests an order dismissing the case with prejudice. They didn't say with prejudice, but sure. In that, disqualifying Mr. Christopher G. Hook as plaintiff's counsel, entering a temporary restraining order against Mr. Hook, issuing a protective order preventing depositions and sanctions. Hitherto, plaintiffs have failed to oppose defendant's application. Thus, the court finds the application is unopposed. It's an ex parte order, or it's an ex parte request. Did he even get served it? Accordingly, the court grants defendant's request for a protective order to suspend all scheduled depositions until the resolution of this application. Furthermore, the court sets this matter for hearing on December 16th, 2019 at 1:30 p.m. The parties, including Mr. Baker, Ms. Oliver, and an Allstate representative, are ordered to appear and show cause why this matter should not be dismissed with prejudice, why Mr. Hook should not be disqualified as plaintiff's counsel, why this court should not issue a restraining order, and why this court should not sanction Mr. Hook. Failure to appear by either of the plaintiffs shall be construed as a failure to comply with this court's order and may result in sanctions. So the plaintiffs have to show up. They have to be there. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, we have the objection filed the next day. So that was December 2nd. And then on December 3rd, there was an objection filed. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. This ought to be interesting. Just a second. I know I said we're going to talk about Vic stuff, and we are, but this is funnier. The Vic stuff's going to be kind of boring. All right, let's see. All I wanted to do, actually, was to just find this guy's email address. And here I am looking at all these documents. Let's take a look at his opposition. Here we go. So plaintiff's opposition to defendant Allstate Insurance Company's ex parte application for dismissal and disqualification. Memorandum in support. Alan Baker and Linda Oliver hereby oppose and object to the meritless and untimely ex parte application for dismissal and disqualification filed by defendant Allstate Insurance Company. Plaintiffs respectfully request the court consider the arguments and evidence submitted herewith, deny their application, reverse the order setting an OSC and placing a hold on depositions, and award monetary sanctions against Allstate for continued bad faith litigation tactics. The ex parte application by defendant is a desperate and improper attempt at gamesmanship filed without any attempt at informal resolution on the eve of a stormy Thanksgiving holiday. Defendant's papers were prepared and filed without regard for and in violation of applicable law, local rules, for the improper purpose of delaying depositions and frustrating the administration of justice. Defense counsel's sole evidence in support of their application is a hearsay reference alleging the undersigned told defense counsel, "I know where you live," during settlement discussions. Plaintiffs submit this is not good cause for a motion, let alone ex parte relief intended to be availed by litigants facing extraordinary circumstances. Settlement discussions and all litigation-related speech are absolutely privileged under California Civil Code Section 47B and inadmissible as evidence under California Evidence Code Section 1152. They cannot be used for any substantive purpose against plaintiffs. Ooh, I like this guy. Plaintiffs respectfully request the courts reverse its order staying depositions and setting an order to show cause on defendant's application on December 16th, 2019, and instead allow plaintiffs to proceed with scheduled depositions and discovery. Plaintiffs respectfully request the court issue monetary sanctions against Allstate and their counsel, or such other and further relief as the court considers proper, up to and including striking their pleadings pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11. This is a first-party bad faith insurance case filed in the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles on August 13th, 2019. The complaint was filed on behalf of two elderly homeowners who reside in Hancock Park and suffered a massive water loss on September 20th, 2018, which destroyed nearly half their home. Unfortunately, their misfortune turned into a nightmare when their good hands insurer assigned their claim to an adjuster who did not understand the benefits plaintiffs purchased as part of their deluxe homeowners policy. Instead of cooperating with the insured to make available up to $1.7 million in extended replacement coverage to reasonably repair the damages, Allstate's adjuster, Edward Carrasco, attempted to bludgeon these elderly customers into accepting pennies on the dollar of what they were owed. This guy's great. Prior to filing this, dealing with insurance companies is soul destroying. Insurance company lawyers are horrible. Everything about dealing with them is horrible. And you literally just have to beat and beat and beat on them until they finally just do what you paid them to do. I hate them. Everybody hates them. It's terrible. It's a terrible system. This guy's doing it the way he seems to know how. But whether or not his emails are proper remains an open question. That said, you just have to bludgeon the insurance company until it finally decides that it's going to be too costly to fight it, to go ahead and pay out the thing that you bought from them. Imagine if you went to Best Buy to buy a TV, right? And you pay Best Buy for the TV. You pay them. You're like, here's my $3,000 for this sweet new 4K TV. Awesome. I can't wait. And you get to the front door and they're like, nah, buddy, you don't get to take that. What do you mean? Here's my receipt. Well, sorry. Listen, I know you think that receipt says that you have a TV. You don't actually have a TV. But it's right here on the receipt. 95-inch Sony Bravia 4K TV. Let me get the adjuster out here. He'll explain it to you. No. That doesn't say 95-inch Sony Bravia TV. Doesn't say that at all. It literally says it right here. What are you talking about? Look, it's a different 95-inch Sony Bravia TV than that, though. When we said 4K, we didn't mean the resolution. If that was model number 4K. That one that you bought is a backstock item. We'll have it in a couple of weeks. What do you mean a couple of weeks? I need the TV now. I paid for it now. It's in this box right here. I'm wheeling it out to my car. No, that's a different TV. This is what it's actually like dealing with an insurance company. It's what it's actually like. You buy the thing, it says in clear language what you get. And then when you tell them that that's what you need, they say, it doesn't actually say that though. Like, you wrote it. You wrote it. Of course it says that. You actually wrote it. I didn't write it. I couldn't even go in and negotiate the terms. You wrote it. And they know that if you're even close to the ballpark on this, that they're going to end up losing because they wrote it and because you don't get to negotiate terms with an insurance company. The courts are going to find typically in favor of a plaintiff who's in the ballpark, but you just have to beat it out of them because they make it costly and frustrating. Sorry, my rant is done. Prior to filing this lawsuit, the undersigned wrote Edward Carrasco to try and resolve this matter. Attached to the supporting declaration of Christopher G. Hook as Exhibit A is a copy of the initial demand letter. No response of any kind was received by Carrasco. The complaint filed in state court on August 13th includes 7 causes of action, including tort claims against Allstate Insurance Company and local Allstate adjuster Edward Carrasco. On or about September 17th, the law firm Shepard, Mullen, Richter, and Hampton Smurch filed papers noticing removal of the action to federal court, claiming diversity jurisdiction. Their flawed argument for diversity: if an agent of an insurer acts in the name of its principal and the agency is, if fully disclosed, only the principal, not the agent, can be held liable for the acts of the agent. Cordadian versus New York Life Insurance. Plaintiffs admit that Mr. Carrasco was a fully disclosed agent acting in the course and scope of his employment with Allstate. For this reason, plaintiff cannot state any valid claim against Mr. Carrasco. So what they're saying is Carrasco is an agent of Allstate, therefore they can't sue Carrasco. Carrasco is a local agent in California, but Allstate is not based in California. Now, California courts should absolutely be able to exercise jurisdiction over Allstate if Allstate has agents in the state. That shouldn't even be a question. But this is how these companies drive up costs. Oh, we're going to remove it to federal court because we're an out-of-state company. On September 24th, 2019, Allstate filed a motion to dismiss plaintiff's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th causes of action against defendant adjuster Edward Carrasco. On November 12th, 2019, plaintiffs filed opposition to the motion to dismiss and removal papers by SMRH. Because there was no diversity jurisdiction, the removal was simply a continuation of Allstate's bad faith tactics. On November 13th, 2019, plaintiffs' counsel Christopher Hook deposed Robert Romero, identified as the supervisor of Edward Carrasco. The deposition was concluded at approximately 4:30 at the request of Mr. Romero, who was tired, and defense counsel Mark Feldman, with the promise to make him available again in 60 days. At no time did Mr. Feldman express to the undersigned an opinion that Hook was behaving inappropriately towards counsel or the witness. True and complete copy of the transcript from the first session of the deposition of Robert Romero is attached to the declaration of Christopher Hook as evidence D, evidencing the same. There's a couple chats here. E1337 Neo says, Nick, my 97-year-old father passed away last weekend. That's an old dad, man. So I can definitely appreciate what you're feeling right now. Condolences and thanks for all the laughs you've given me that have helped me cope. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you, buddy, and cheers and peace to you and your family. It's Kaki Onsai. Update on Devin Nunes suing CNN for defamation. CNN claims he was meeting Ukrainian prosecutor in Vienna. Nunes has receipts showing he was in Libya and Malta at the time stated. $435 million and sweet discovery. Devin, maybe, I wonder if Devin Nunes would come on the show. Wouldn't that be weird? How big do you have to be for a congressperson to come on the show? It's got to be bigger than me, right? Like a federal congressman, especially a high-profile one like Devin Nunes. Anyway, Defendant Carrasco's deposition was taken on November 15th. The deponent was represented by Mr. Feldman. The deposition proceeded without incident until the mid-afternoon when the witness grew tired after less than 4 hours of testimony and requested a continuance. What a baby. Plaintiff's counsel agreed to continue the deposition to a mutually convenient date. At no time during the deposition did Mr. Feldman indicate the undersigned was threatening the witness or making him uncomfortable. True and complete copy of the transcript of the first session of the deposition of Edward Carrasco is attached to the declaration of Christopher Hook. During Carrasco's deposition, a policy limit settlement demand was extended to Allstate. The demand was left open until the day after the deposition. As set forth in further detail in the supporting declaration of Christopher Hook following Carrasco's deposition, it was the opinion of counsel that clear and convincing evidence existed giving rise to a high probability claim of punitive damages against Allstate Insurance. After such date, plaintiff's counsel began aggressively negotiating a settlement with defense counsel. Unfortunately, defense counsel decided to ignore Mr. Hook, refusing to take his calls or respond to his voice and electronic mails in a disrespectful manner, violating the rules of professional conduct and civility. The balls on this guy! The balls on this guy saying... They're refusing to act in a civil and professional manner. Oh, I love him. The unfortunate byproduct of this stonewalling were the alleged angry and inappropriate words directed at Mr. Klee in conjunction with trying to resolve this case, which are nonetheless privileged under Civil Code Section 47B. Coarse or offensive language used privately between counsel during litigation and settlement discussions are no basis for placing a hold on depositions, dismissing this action, or disqualifying the plaintiff's counsel of choice. That is true. That is true. Absolutely. Get over it, you gay boy babies. On the contrary, Allstate's ex parte application with a supporting declaration from Mr. Klee admitting no effort to meet and confer and admitting he has never spoken to the undersigned is another example of bad faith litigation tactics in violation of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11. Caitlin Cascianis says, in my line of work, I deal with medical insurance companies. I don't know how many times we send them information they refuse to update their systems. It sometimes takes making them look like a fool in front of the client. Yep. Update on my allergy shots. My medical insurance company. Well, I don't know if it was the insurance company that had the problem or if it was the pharmacy, but they just decided not to ship it. I was supposed to have it like a week ago, and it gets there tomorrow, but not in time for me to get it tomorrow. So I get to wait until Monday. Legal arguments and authority. Ex parte motions are disfavored because the non-moving party has limited opportunity to oppose the motion. There's always a concern that the movement may not be presenting all the facts the court needs to know before making a ruling, and that its ruling, therefore, may be incorrect or unfair to the non-moving party. Defendant Allstate's ex parte application is procedurally defective and improper and should be summarily denied. The motion is factually baseless and is a bad faith litigation tactic. Here's the real question. Why did Allstate need to do this motion ex parte? What grounds did they have for making this an ex parte motion? They could have requested this non-ex parte, just with a normal motion. Motion to dismiss the case, relieve counsel. Why'd they do it ex parte? Trick questions, because they're scumbags. Defendant Allstate failed to meet and confer prior to filing. Local civil rules for U.S. District Court, Central District of California require in relevant part conference of counsel prior to filing motions. In all cases not listed as exempt in Local Rule 1612, and except in connection with discovery motions, which are governed by Local Rule 37.1 through 37.4, and applications for temporary restraining orders or preliminary injunctions, counsel contemplating the filing of any motion shall first contact opposing counsel to discuss thoroughly preferably in person, the substance of the contemplated motion and any potential resolution. Conference shall take place at least 7 days prior to the filing of the motion. If the parties are unable to reach a resolution, which eliminates the necessity for a hearing, counsel for the moving party shall include in the notice of motion a statement to the following effect. This motion is made following the conference of counsel pursuant to Local Rule 7.3, which took place on date. Allstate filed no declaration describing a conference or attempted informal resolution in support of its ex parte application. Reason being, at no time has defense counsel picked up the phone to try and work out a solution. In fact, no meet and confer effort of any kind was undertaken by Mr. Klee or SMRH. Instead, plaintiff's counsel was blindsided by defendant's ex parte application on the eve of Thanksgiving. Plaintiffs note defendant's ex parte application violates a number of Judge Wright's department rules, including, oh man, this guy's looking at local ones. The meet and confer requirement set forth in section 7, subsection A2. Specification in section 7, subsection B4, that ex parte applications are solely for extraordinary relief, should be used with discretion. Counsel's attention is directed to local rules. Applications that fail to conform to Local Rule 719, 719.1, including a statement of opposing counsel's position, will not be considered except on a specific showing of good cause. Professional courtesy dictates moving parties should, whenever possible, avoid filing motions for which opposition papers will be due the Friday preceding a holiday. In contravention of these guidelines, SMRH served their ex parte application at noon on Tuesday, November 26th, and advised the undersigned that his papers would be due 24 hours later on November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. No supporting evidence of good cause for relief. An ex parte application must show why the moving party should be allowed to go to the head of the line in front of all other litigants and receive special treatment. First, the moving party must show that his or her cause will be irreparably prejudiced if the underlying motion is heard according to regular notice procedures. Okay, I'm going to skim most of this. Let's get to the counsel. Let's get to this section, then we'll be done. A lot of procedural stuff. Look, Mr. Chris Hook is a brazen and bombastic attorney, that's for sure. But he also seems to know exactly what he's doing here. Exactly what he's doing. Counsel's alleged statements are privileged per Civil Code 47B. Even had defendant proffered evidence to prove that alleged offensive statements were made by counsel during settlement communications, such statements were likely puffery or trash talk that was absolutely privileged under California Civil Code Section 47B. This statute provides an absolute privilege for statements made in connection with any judicial proceeding that further the objects of the litigation. Protection applies even against allegations of non-disclosure of fraudulent statements made during settlement process. Settlement discussions are protected by Civil Code Section 47B and California's anti-SLAPP statute, even those communications conducted in bad faith. The privileges conferred by Section 47 are absolute and apply regardless of whether the communication was made with malice or the intent to harm. Civil Code Section 47B and Evidence Code Section 1152 track federal law, specifically Rule of Evidence 408, which protects matters disclosed in settlement discussions from use as evidence. This has been recognized in at least one federal court as a settlement privilege to protect statements made during settlement negotiations from discovery. So, reverse the order. That's what he's saying. Now, real quick, he's got his declaration. I don't know if there's anything interesting in here. But I'm going to email this guy on the stream. I, Christopher Hook, declare I am the attorney of record for plaintiffs in the above entitled action. Make the following declaration on personal knowledge. Admitted to the State Bar of California. 12 years of experience practicing law. No discipline record. Extensive experience working professionally with the Shepard, Mullen, Richter, and Hampton law firm. I've represented Investment Company of Santa Monica, Pacific Systems, and Thompson Industrial Properties in more than 12 cases related appeals pending in the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, where the opposing parties, Pamela Wells, Sheila Wells, and Garden Gate Incorporated, are represented by SMRH. These cases continue to this day. I've worked with SMRH attorneys from their Los Angeles office for 6 years without incident, including taking and defending dozens of depositions at SRMH's office in downtown Los Angeles. These cases are now in settlement discussions after 5 years of heavy litigation. I'm submitting this declaration in opposition to defendant's ex parte application to have this action dismissed. The undersigned disqualified on the allegation the undersigned directed abusive and offensive language at defense counsel in conjunction with settlement discussions. Defendant's application is meritless and filed for the improper purpose of delaying this litigation in general. Depositions of all state witnesses set for December 10th and 17th in particular. Plaintiffs object to defendant's application on the basis that there is no good cause for their request. I have a right to free speech under the U.S. Constitution. Under California law, speech and communication made in conjunction with litigation enjoys an absolute privilege. Furthermore, there's broad statutory protection for speech made in conjunction with settlement negotiations. Even if the allegations in defendant's applications were supported by evidence, they are not. Oh, excuse me. Such inflammatory speech would be absolutely privileged. To hold otherwise would result in a litigation environment spawning an endless spin-off of sub-lawsuits when the pride of counsel was injured. I was retained in July of 2019 by Alan Baker and Linda Oliver to address a critical situation with Allstate arising from a massive water loss. The subject loss is further described in the complaint. Bakers were at their wits' end in July because they had been displaced from their homes as a result of the loss, and the repairs were not complete 10 months later. Allstate refused to pay their contractor his estimate for the damage, forcing the Bakers to cut corners and pay out of pocket for much of the repairs to the Las Palmas residents. To make matters worse, Allstate was threatening the Bakers with ending payments for their temporary housing, an amount exceeding $15,000 per month, despite the fact their home was finished as a result of Allstate's sandbagging. I think they mean wasn't finished. The undersigned initially attempted to resolve this matter directly with Allstate adjuster, explaining the potential claim and seeking a prompt resolution. I never received a response from Carrasco or Allstate. The undersigned filed a lawsuit on August 13th. In early September, I was contacted by attorney Jack Burns, who advised me by email they intended to remove the matter to federal court on the basis of diversity jurisdiction. I was annoyed by this tactical move because I had noticed depositions of Edward Carrasco and his superior for early October. I told Mr. Burns that I disagreed with removal as there was no diversity. Defense counsel disagreed and filed removal papers. On or about September 24th, they filed a motion to dismiss. I sent them a letter, meeting and further handling, including depositions. It's attached as Exhibit B is a copy of the letter. Meet and confer. Excuse me. I took the deposition of the supervisor, took a deposition of Carrasco, considered the depositions of Mr. Romero and Mr. Carrasco damaging for Allstate because both witnesses provided sworn testimony that was clear and convincing evidence of conscious disregard for the rights of the plaintiffs. The fact that both witnesses tapped out by claiming they were tired after less than 4 hours of questioning indicated this case was ripe for settlement. I immediately requested dates for the continued depositions of Romero and Carrasco and again made a policy limits demand in an email. During the deposition, I asked Feldman why Allstate was subjecting their employee to cross-examination when he clearly had no training, qualifications, experience, or supervision in claims adjusting. Mr. Feldman and I exchanged some banter about the case. Oh, I bet that was good. And the undersigned recalls Mr. Feldman telling him that SMRH litigates hard, but also works hard to settle cases when appropriate, or words to that effect. I took this to mean the defense counsel wished to try and resolve the claim. Reevaluated the worth of his client's claim based on what he considered clear and convincing evidence that exposed Allstate to very high chance of exposure to a punitive damage award. Quickly withdrew my policy limits demand, began making quiet, simple demands for settlement, an amount I believe reflected the current value of the case. I've made dozens upon dozens of calls, emails, and letters. Not received this courtesy of but a single obtuse email from Feldman stating they considered the case to be worth between $0 and $200,000. Never spoken to Mr. Klee despite calling him numerous times for the purpose of politely discussing the case. Sent a settlement demand to Allstate. The demand was professional and contained no coarse language or threats. Copies included. I never received any response whatsoever to this correspondence from defense counsel. Another settlement demand. Another settlement demand. After approximately 1 week of being stonewalled by defense counsel who would not take my calls, return my calls, or respond to my emails, the undersigned considered that SMRH was employing a tricky tactic to deny the undersigned any information on the case, even if that meant violating the rules of professional conduct. There's a bunch of rules listed. Filing ex parte papers on the eve of Thanksgiving in violation of the guideline that the timing and manner of service papers should not be used to the disadvantage of the party receiving the papers. Anyway, undersigned sought to employ a confidential negotiating tactic by employing harsh language and provocative insults against counsel for Allstate out of an interest in trying to resolve the case only. The undersigned recognized that perhaps some of the language crossed the line of civility and was offensive and inappropriate. With that said, the language used for effect, similar to bluster or puffery, was not intended to actually be considered personal insults. At no time did the undersigned threaten or intend to threaten defense counsel, their co-workers, or families with harm. The undersigned apologized to defense counsel and the court and represents and warrants that such language will not be used by the undersigned again in the matter. The undersigned's clients had absolutely no idea about or input in the language allegedly used by the undersigned. It would be extremely unfair and prejudicial to hold them to account in any way for the indiscretions of their counsel, who may have used some inappropriate language out of frustration and anger. Aw, don't apologize, Chris. Call the judge a gay boy. Go after him. As evidenced by deposition transcripts submitted herewith, no time did the undersigned threaten the witness or make them uncomfortable. The undersigned suspects on information belief that Allstate's ex parte application was simply a gambit to delay the completion of a deposition, devastating their potential risk in the case. At no time did they attempt to meet and confer. Undersigned was blindsided. Same things from the other one. Anyway, Christopher Hook. Oh my God. Let me get this guy emailed right now while I'm thinking about it. Compose. A new email. Can I not? Oh, man. I was hoping I could bring this window over, but I can't. It's got too much info in it. Sorry. To Chris at cghlaw.com. Subject RE case number 219-CV-08024. Inquiry. Mr. Hook, my name is Nicholas Rekieta. I am a small town lawyer in central Minnesota. And I recently was made aware of your ongoing dispute with Allstate. I run a YouTube station. You got to talk like a boomer, right? Because we're lawyers. Station. Hold on. I want to make sure I can see. I run a YouTube station that discusses legally adjacent topics in an off-the-cuff manner, often over whiskey. I would love to introduce you. Whoops, can't spell. That's the Japanese liquor. Prevents you from spelling in English. I would love to introduce you to my audience. I host a nightly talk show to several thousand people. You and your firm to my audience. That's and I think they would like to meet you. I recently started covering the Allstate case on my show, and we, oh wait, no, semicolon, we do not need to discuss that case, as I would not want to in any way jeopardize the litigation efforts of your firm, of your clients. Clients is better. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Please let me know if you would be interested in coming on the show. I think it would be a fun time. Sincerely. Nick Rekieta, Rekieta Law. Send. Okay. There you go, guys. There you go. Oh my God. This guy is so funny. I think it'd be great. I think he'd be great on the show. I think it'd be great interview. I don't care if we talk about this case. He just seems like a pretty interesting fella. He's been practicing for a long time. Does lots of insurance practice. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. Okay. So that's that. We'll see. I'll take a peek at this case and see if there's any more interesting stuff. We can actually probably, I'm not going to do it now, but we can probably find some interesting stuff on the whatchamacallit. Oh my gosh, my brain is broken. We can probably find some interesting stuff on like what's actually going on with the case, what the court has done. Okay. Why would you fail to load? Okay. Let's take a gander at this. I'm pulling up the Vic documents now. Except I'm not, because they just don't want to pull up. So that's cool. Pull up the emails. We did the emails yesterday. Let's see. Where is the record? Well, that's not very exciting. Hold on 1 minute here. I'm looking for the designation of the record. There's a supplemental designation of the record. I'm looking for the original designation of the record. What is that? Random document. Oh, that's a subpoena. Guys, I am so tired. Siren Jag, I can do a pull-up. How dare you? How dare you? Notice of hearing, motion for sanctions. Why is it only like 5 results per page? That's terrible. Notice of appeal, 2 pages. Okay, well, we only have the supplemental. Let me get back to it, I guess. That's weird. We'll pull up this supplemental thing. This isn't super exciting, like I said. This is very, very dry. Supplemental designation of clerk's record. Let me buy this real quick and then have it. Oh, I'm so itchy. I really kind of wish I could get my flippin' allergy medication. Wouldn't that be great? Have you gone over the appeals yet? No, Igor, I'm kind of doing it right now. We're doing it live. It's not going to be super exciting. Very boring document. I hope you guys are pumped for it. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay. So low. All right. Why is this over here? What is happening? All right, we got it here. Okay, via e-file and email, December 2nd, 2019, to Connie Williams, the Administrative Appeals Clerk and Tarrant County District Clerk. So here's the clerk's record for appeal to the 2nd District Court of Appeals. Dear Ms. Williams, in addition to the items filed in the Court of Appeals on November 15th, appellant respectfully requests that the following items be filed as part of the clerk's record. Now, that filing on November 15th doesn't actually show up on the appeals court website. So I don't know if that just is how Research Texas does things. What is this? Oh, that is not important. Actually, let me see. Let's see if we can get the case search. Texas courts. Hold on. I'm going to see if they have it on the Court of Appeals website. Let me. 2nd Court of Appeals. Oh, I'm so itchy. I'm dying. I'm dying. Appellate case number 141-307474-19. I'm my case. Nothing. Okay. Let's try it differently. Civil. Case search. What is this? See if we can just do it this way. 307474. Search. Nope. I think we can look by name. Right? Document search, text string to search. There we go. Just a moment. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. Come on. It shouldn't take that long to search. Oh, we can just go. Just sitting here, hanging out, waiting for this search to finish to see if they have the rest of the documents. Why is this taking so long? Okay, let's go through this document while it does it. While it does it, we'll take a gander at the actual documents here. Okay, so Connie Williams. So, dear Ms. Williams, in addition to the items filed in the Court of Appeals on November 15th, 2019, appellant respectfully requests the following items be filed as part of the clerk's record. Defendant Funimation Productions motion for reasonable attorney's fees, costs, and sanctions. Monica Rial and Ronald Toya's brief in support of sanctions and attorney's fees pursuant to the TCPA. Defendant Jamie Markey's motion to determine sanctions and attorney's fees. Plaintiff's response and objections to Defendant Funimation Production LLC's motion for reasonable attorney's fees, costs, and sanctions. Plaintiff's response and objections to Monica Rial and Ronald Toya's brief in support of sanctions and attorney's fees pursuant to Texas Citizens Participation Act. Plaintiff's response and objections to Defendant Jamie Markey's motion to determine sanctions. Plaintiff's objections and motion to strike defendant's affidavits and exhibits attached to defendant's motions and brief for attorney's fees and sanctions pursuant to the TCPA. Final judgment issued 11/25/2019. And you can bet that they will further supplement this with the whatchamacallit. They'll further supplement this with the transcript if it ever comes out, ever. Oh my God, it finally decided. It finally decided to find the case. Thank you. That was nice of it. Let's see. That's what we need. Case search. There we go. Search. Here's the electronic clerk's record. That's nothing at all. Okay, so the appeals court just does not show what was filed. They just show that something was filed. So that's great. Not very helpful. All right. Well, I was hoping for a little more than this, but this is what we have here. This is just a record of what is being added to the record. My understanding is that they've probably included just about everything in the existing record. All right. So they want the record to be as broad as possible. They want to show the court. Remember what the ultimate goal here is. The ultimate goal on appeal is to show the appellate court that the trial court had enough information in its evidence record to make a prima facie case for each of the causes of action against each of the defendants. That's what the whole goal is. So they want the record to be broad. They want it to make sure that it covers all of the things. They're going to include the pleadings from both parties in that. And then when they file their appellate brief, now appellate briefs have word limits, have page limits, and then your appellate argument is going to have a time limit at oral argument. So what they're going to do in their appellate brief is they're going to narrow down and very concisely lay out exactly where all of that evidence is. They're going to handhold the appeals court and say, for this cause of action, here's the evidence, here's where it was in the record, and why this should be overturned. For each one. Each cause of action against each defendant. Here's the evidence on the record. Here's why it should be overturned. So that's it. They have a word limit. They have a page limit. It makes it a little more difficult. They can't just submit like a 90-page document that says all the stuff that they needed to say. They have to be really concise. They'll employ various tactics to do that, like tables and stuff like that to shorten the word count, but to still produce the same effect. But anyway, I was hoping there'd be a little bit more to show you here, but there really just isn't. It's just these list of things that have been filed since. It will probably be supplemented with the transcript. Each one of these things you have to pay. You have to pay like $1 a page or something like that to include each one of these things in the record. Appeals do get very expensive that way. So, hey, what's up, Lisa? How's it going? Just saw you there in the chat. So that's where we are. Trying to figure out what we should do. Oh, we should probably do a quick GoFundMe update. Then I should I should read the super chat. E1337 Neo says, Nick, thanks for the kind words about Dad earlier. One more quick for shill for him. Retired Army Colonel, 26 years of service, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam vet, survived cancer several times. If that isn't a badass, I don't know what is. Sounds like a pretty cool dude, buddy. And now that I've purged this glass of garbage whiskey, we're going to get the good stuff out for him. To parents and grandparents who are no longer young enough for the world. This is Iliac. This is from Scotland. This is not available in the States as far as I know. It may be. I don't want to be a liar. But as far as I know, it's not. This is given to me by someone I would call a friend, by Lydia. Lydia, if you're out there, if you ever happen to see this again, thank you truly for this bottle of scotch. It's been really great, and I'm only depressed that I don't know where to get it again. Don't want to waste that drop. Oh my gosh. This is a smoky whiskey. Hey, Cress, how's it going? To parents and grandparents who are too old for this world, may they boom on in better places. If you believe in an afterlife. If you don't, may their memories be their immortality and boom on in the legacy that they left behind in us miserable saps. Peace and cheers to you and your family. That is good stuff. It just is. It's smooth. It's smoky. It's delicious. If you ever get a chance to get get a sip of it. It's like Lagavulin or Lafroig, but it's much tamer on the dirt. It's a lot of smoke and not as much peat. It's really, really good. All right, guys. I'm kind of fading here. A day is catching up to me. I'm really pissed off about this transcript because I wanted to have Gothic Sushi on this week. I really, really want to have Gothic Sushi on. Sushi, if you see this, girl, it ain't you, it's me. I apologize very much. It's not me, actually. It's a transcript, but I'll take responsibility for the court reporter not nutting up and finishing that transcript. Gothic Sushi is supposed to come on at some point here and tell a very funny story. And I kept every day thinking a transcript was coming. And so I did not book her for an actual show. And for that, I deeply and profoundly apologize. In hindsight, I would love to have just done the show with her. Either Tuesday or today would have been great. But I can't undo it, right? Like, I can't make the transcript. I couldn't impute the knowledge of the transcript not coming out into my past self. So we may have a transcript tomorrow. It was supposed to be done today. So we may have a transcript show tomorrow. Keep an eye out for the Copa video. The Copa video is coming out. And what I'm going to do on Copa is I'm going to release a video on it. A short video, you know, the 15-minute one. Tell everybody to shut up and calm down. And then I will, in that video, advertise a live stream on Copa. And we will go through, in the way that we do, we will go through the Copa law itself, which is probably shorter than you think it is. We will go through the Copa law, and we will go through the Copa settlement, the FTC settlement with YouTube. And we will see where everybody is getting these ideas about the FTC going after YouTube content creators. We're going to go through all of that. All right. So, keep an eye out for that. That'll come out either tomorrow or Saturday. I can't record the video tonight. Too much liquor already for that. And also I'm just in a bad, like I said, I'm in a bad mood. So that's not the best deal. I have to be a little bit more smiley when I tell people that they're being ridiculous and they should stop talking like they're lawyers. Because I've seen some of the Copa videos out there, and thems ain't lawyers, not even bad ones. So, you know, the language of the statute is pretty clear on how this will be handled. And I think everybody is losing their shit for nothing. So that said, keep an eye out for that video, please, guys. I hate to be this guy, I really do. But when I release those short videos, please like them and share them. It helps immensely, and it's something that will help build the live stream community. I love that you guys have a community here that I hope you enjoy coming back to, where even if the particular show that I'm doing is not your favorite subject or whatever, that you enjoy at least having me on in the background and engaging in the chat community, because I do think that you guys have something aside from what I'm doing going on in the chat, and I love watching that interaction. And I'm trying to foster and grow that for you guys as well. So one thing that really helps with that is sharing those short videos that I do, because those things bring people into the show. So that said, we'll do that very soon on the Copa thing. So keep an eye out for it. All right, guys. I'm going to read through these super chats and justice chats. I appreciate you all, as always. I still don't have the outro queued up yet. Oh my God! Wait! I need to plug this. Fats Miss Carols. Fats Miss Carols. Oh my God, I'm terrible at this. Fats Miss Carols. The guy who did my outro has an album out there called Fats Miss Carols. It is in honor of the fattest of the fat, Mundane Matt. He is a large individual, and he has an entire Christmas album dedicated to him. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Where was that? Was it on Twitter? Oh my God. Second. Yes, it was. But there's not a link. Damn it. Hold on. I'm trying to find you guys a link. Fats Miss Carols. We're just going to go to his SoundCloud. Maybe it's there. It's not there. Where's Fats Miss Carols? Damn it. I'm going to find this stupid thing. Here we go. All right. Fats Miss Carols is available on My Room Records. myroomrecords.bandcamp.com. Pull it up for you guys. This is Fats Miss Carols. Hold on. Here we go. There it is. Fats Miss Carols. You can pre-order the digital album, which releases on December 13th for $4.99. Should we listen to this thing? Oh my God. Oh my God. So the song the demo song here, the demo song is "Oh Come Inside My Girl" featuring the Cucksockers. So we're about to listen to "Oh Come Inside My Girl." Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry. I realized my error. Give me a second. We're going to change this. I'm going to put on the headphones because we've got too much echo. Too much echo going on. Okay, here we go. No. I want the... Go, hold on. We're getting there. Okay. Here we are.
About as hot as last week's bath. You sided with the balding cuckold's wrath. When you would not admit that you were wrong. Got BTFO in the aftermath. I can't decide which one. Do you look like Tweedledee or Tweedledum? Or maybe Michael Moore's retarded son. Your girlfriend needed fucked by a real man. You stood there with a menu in your hand. She had a daughter with a well-hung Chad. You raise a kid, but you are not the dad. Hey Matt,
my God.
He's the one that makes her come. Stop resisting, don't deny. Embrace the cuck you become. Come in, my girl, hormones I love to hear. You fill her up, I'll masturbate from here.
Oh my God.
The next kid is a twinkle in his eye. A jerk up in my closet while I cry. Hey boys, oh come inside my girl. I am the fattest faggot in the world.
Oh my God.
Everyone can see your failure is complete. You're such a cuck that you've embraced female hypergamy, hypergamy, hypergamy.
That was "Oh Come Inside My Girl" featuring the Cucksockers. If you recognize the heavy guitar, the Cucksockers actually are responsible for my intro music. So the Cucksockers are responsible for my intro music. They have done this song. The other songs on the album are "Carol of the Smells" featuring Ethan Ralph, "Suck My Balls" featuring Save State Corrupted, "False Flag Ye Mary Boulderman" featuring Ethan Cantrell, Lothario Joe, and Nazobar, "Boulders Brightly Shining" featuring Hazencruz, "Soy to the World" featuring Nazobar, "Cuck the Barrel-Bodied King" featuring Vizzy G, "Will Shame You Until You Lose Weight" featuring Richard Head and The Shaft, "Whose Child Is This?" Oh my God. Sorry. "He Is Not the Dad" featuring Ego Beats, Eric Wong, Nazobar, and Joe, "12 Days of Fatsmas" featuring the Fatsmas Choir, "Cuckolds We Have Heard on High" featuring Gay and Still at Large, "Oh Come Let Us Abhor Him" featuring Ego Beats and Clinton Killed Epstein. Okay, perfect. "We Three Cucks" featuring Plagueis, Save State Corrupted, and Gazal. "All Land Whales" featuring Chuck and V, Matt the Sax, and the Ska Gang. And the Soilalujah chorus featuring the Esquire. The Esquire. So there you go, guys. That is the album. The Fatsmas Carols album by My Room Records. It's available on Bandcamp. Let me throw that link in the description. It's available for $4.99 for pre-order. It says Dame Pesos is not listed on there. I thought he was doing a song, but I did not know. I don't know if he's got a pseudonym or something. But there, it's available. I remember Dame saying he was going to do it. I'm adding the show link to the description as well. Fatsmas Carols. So that's added. Anyway, a bunch of good dudes making fun of one terrible human being. Perfect for the holiday season. Ike 13D says, "I'll pour out a glass of the good stuff for your grandparent. You poured out a glass for my grandpa when I mentioned it. You're in our thoughts and prayers, brother, man. Stay strong." I appreciate that, buddy. All right, let's do these chats. As far as Twitch goes, sure, I'll do Twitch for a little bit. I don't know how long. I'm really tired. My sleep schedule's ruined, and it's ruined to the point of being normal, and that is not good for me. So, we'll see what I can do. But yeah, the Pie Baker says, "Damn it, Nick, how much do you need to grift us before you give us chat raids the stream night twice a year?" Oh, you want another chat raids the stream? I'll think about it. The Pie Baker says, "Any update on the accusations pointed at New Broly? Weeb Wars 2, Weeb Day, invasion of Chup Beach against the forces of Fuhrer Jadolf Lemon Party." I don't have any update. I mean, their accusations of Johnny Young Bosch seem to be pretty flaccid. Probably because Shane was involved. Their accusations are fairly flaccid, so I don't think they're going to get anywhere on that. So, you know, but Johnny seemed to hold his own, but I don't know. Chad Manning says, you forgot the most important line in the email. I'm mailing live so they will know if you bitch out like a gay boy. F46607. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I hope to talk to Chris. I really do think he's probably a very good lawyer. So I'm curious to talk to him and hear his stories. I bet he's got good ones. Mercenary X says, I know how you feel, Nick. I lost both of my grandparents on my mother's side, and the closest thing I had to a grandmother on my father's side, and it never gets easier. All you can do is pray they're in a better place and celebrate their lives. God's with you. Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. General John N. Wallace says, hail Vic, hail Nick, hail Ty. Brandon Gross says, what do you think the future for Vic is like? Vic is, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Well, there's a couple futures that matter here. There's the legal future for Vic, which is the appeals court. The appellate court will decide whether or not the district court made the right decision. And depending on how the appellate court decides will dictate his legal future. If the appellate court decides that he was wrongfully dismissed, then they'll put him back through and the case will go on, at least in part. If they determine he was rightfully dismissed, then the case will end. And that's how that will go. I mean, there will probably be an appeal to the Texas Supreme Court or a petition to the Texas Supreme Court. And the Texas Supreme Court will either grant it or not. That's a very low probability case of being given review by the Texas Supreme Court. But there's always a chance. I think the appeals court will likely have the final decision. That's the odds. That's the odds play, is that the Supreme Court will ignore it. Okay, but what the appeals court decides will determine what happens from here on out as far as the legal case goes. As far as the just Vic goes, I believe he is already booking shows for 2020. If you want to see him at shows, at your local show, if you have any connections or involvement, ask them to please reach out to Vic. If you want to see him, you guys be the messengers there. You guys have some contacts. I'm sure Vic is working on his own contacts. He's had a long career in the industry and lots of people know this is garbage. So I'm sure he's leaning on them to get an invite or two, but you guys can help by just asking. As for what he's going to do, he's not going back to Funimation. He's not going back to Rooster Teeth. That much seems pretty obvious. I hope people are no longer under the illusion. I thought early on that he might be able to get back into Funimation with settlement negotiations. That doesn't seem to be the case now. So it looks like he's not going back to Funimation. With that said, there's a lot for Vic to do. He's a very talented person. He's a songwriter. He's a singer. He's a voice actor. He has the resources and the connections to do his own stuff. He's a screen actor as well. He has the sources and the connections to do his own stuff. So, I don't know. I would love to see him. Here's what I would love. I'll just flat out say it on here. That way, if it happens, you guys can credit me. I would love to see Vic acquire intellectual property rights for manga. And what I would like to see him do is voice act a living manga. It's like an audiobook, right? But with the visual going on the manga on your screen, Vic voice acting it. What I think would be really, really cool is if the manga had limited animation in the frames. So that when you go to a different frame, there's some sort of animation to catch your attention, catch your eye, make you appreciate the art a little more, and then and then do an audiobook for manga. Manga is like, it's crushing book sales all over the place. It's huge, and it's where voice acting can expand. And I think if Vic is smart and plays his cards right and leverages his connections to people who aren't cowards, he can work with some really great people, put together some voices on some really cool properties, and bring them to life in a different way than anime is able to do. I mean, imagine this. You can have, I've seen the comics app, which lets you go frame by frame from a comic book on your phone. Like, imagine if you got your Bluetooth headphones on, you're going frame by frame on a comic book or on a manga, and each frame is just a little bit animated, just a tiny bit. And you've got the voices of respectable voice actors and actresses. And actually, they can bring in people who are more talented in their voice acting and less talented in their syncing abilities, because you don't have to sync it to the movement of the animation. It'd be much cheaper to produce, and it would be highly consumable. I think this would be a great project for Vic. I would love to be a part of it, but you know, that'll be up to Vic at some point in him deciding what he wants to do. But I think I would love to help out with that in some way or another. I think that would be a great project. Even if I'm not involved, I don't care. I would love to be a part of it, because I think from an investment perspective, it has a lot of opportunity. So there's that. But if Vic's not involved, or if I'm not involved with it, that's fine. I would love to see Vic do it either way. But if there's an opportunity for me to buy in, I just think it'll be a smashing success. So I would love to do that. But that being said, I think that would be a great way for him to develop and foster a product that will immediately have buy-in from his existing fan base, which is still substantial, and then be marketable to people outside who are either unaware of the drama, don't care about the drama, or as this drama from the lawsuit and all of this stuff fades away, and he's just a voice behind a manga that happened to acquire the license. That's also something that's probably outside the reach of Funimation to tortiously interfere. Outside the reach of Fat Monica and Fat Jamie to tortiously interfere. And guys, I can't express to you how fucking fat and gross those two demons of the warp actually are. The Nurgle spawn that is Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial are offensive to behold. You look out there, there are pretty people in the industry. There are pretty women out there. And then there are the harpoon-scarred monstrosities that are Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial, trying to convince you that anybody on Earth was trying to have sex with them and that they turned them down. Holy Christ, the audacity of these broads, emphasis on broad, of suggesting that anyone wanted to try and put a thumbtack in a globe is beyond me. Jesus God. Whew. It's not all about looks, except when it is, okay? No, Jamie needs to drop more than the resting bitch face. She needs to drop a person from the pounds. She needs to get on the scale, carve an entire human being off of her, and set it aside. Monica could cut 30 pounds if she just got less ridiculous veneers, but... Anyway. The liquor may be hitting. The liquor just might be hitting. But, Someone says Vic had no interest in Marky. Have you guys seen the women Vic's interested in? Like, you can look at Michelle Specht, right? Michelle is a very beautiful woman. A very thin, beautiful woman. It's like 4 Michelle Spechts in Monica Rial. And then there's some recent accuser of Vic, right? There's some recent accuser. The hell's this? There's some recent accuser of Vic, and I looked at that thing, and I mean, no, sloth. Oh, I missed it. There's a recent accuser of Vic who is approximately the size of the van I need to transport all of my children. Are we serious? Are we serious? You've got ex-fiancés and girlfriends who are thin, who are pretty, who are attractive. And then you've got the Samantha Inu Hearts of the world, who are 8 feet wide, who look like they fell out of the Down syndrome tree and hit all the branches. And we're supposed to somehow believe that Vic is attracted, so thoroughly attracted that he cannot control his groping hands and inappropriate sexual advances on people who look like a fucking bowl of Jell-O. Are we serious here? Does anybody believe this? Does anybody on earth believe this? Good God. There ain't enough liquor on the planet, y'all. There ain't enough liquor on the planet. Look, I have met Vic's significant other, and I'm telling you, if you ever see these tectonic plates in excess of 300 pounds, suggesting that Vic grabbed their butt or something, and oh my God, not a chance. Not a chance in hell. And I'm like, we've got to talk about this at some point. I don't know how much whiskey it will take, but we've got to talk about the elephants in every room that is accusers of Vic. And it's all of them. Have you looked at these people? I mean, you can criticize Vic of a lot of things. Being not shallow on looks is not something you can criticize Vic of. He clearly has a type, and his type is attractive. Jesus. Man, I don't know. I don't know. How do we even broach this subject? How do we even broach this subject? Let's see here. We've got a chat from... Wait, did we do this one? Fox McCloud says, do you think Monica is so fat because she's just sucking the life from Soye? God, I hope so. JXDBX says, sorry about your loss. Hey, thank you, buddy. Now on to a more jovial topic. Ask Medicare about beta cuck that found himself in a polyamorous relationship. And by the end of it was a Chad going, bitch, go into the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Oh, that sounds funny. I just don't know. Listen. Let me be real with you for a minute. Let me be real. Because people misunderstand me. They think I hate fat people. It's not true. If you're fat, I don't hate you. I know lots of fat people. Oh my God, that sounded like... Look, I know like 4 black people. No, I don't care. I don't actually care what your size is. I really don't. It means nothing about you. But there are certain awful people out there, like Monica Rial and Jamie Markey, and calling them fat is devastating to their ego. Okay? It's calling Mike Dunford fat is devastating to his ego. Calling Greg Doucette bankrupt is devastating to his ego. Okay? There's a thing. I have the inherent bully trait, right? If I was a Neverwinter Nights character, I would have the bully feet. And I can smell it. I can smell it like the cheese that's stuck under the fat fold of a fat lady. I can smell it coming off of them. I know exactly what bothers them. If you see me making fun of a fatso, it's because they deserve to be made fun of. All right? And I know exactly what bothers them. You can smell it on them. It's disgusting. Their weakness is... How do I say this? Pungent. Their weaknesses are pungent. Okay? You can smell it. And look at this. Trust me, I can smell it. I can also sell it jewelry at the same time, okay? I know. It's not you I'm making fun of. It's fat, sweaty Jamie Markey and fat horseface Monica Rial I'm making fun of. It's broke-ass T. Greg Doucette. It's sad army husband, sack of garbage Mike Dunford. A tuba plays in the background, Mike Dunford. All right? It's not about a general statement. A good insult is never general. Good insult is specific and biting. And these scum of the earth deserve every ounce of sadness that they take. And it's not my fault that Jamie Markey and Monica Rial require whole cakes full of sadness to make fun of, but they do. All right? So, we've got to get that out there. But at some point, we need to recognize that certain people are attracted to a certain look. Vic does not look like the type and does not act like the type and does not have a track record of the type of someone of being attracted to someone who you would buy a Nordic track for unironically, right? Like, if you were Elon Musk and you met Jamie Markey, you would buy her a Peloton and be like, oh, God, she needs this. Automatically, without a thought. You just buy it for her and you'd be like, oh, Jesus, this person's looking to drop an entire Thai person. Vic does not seem to be the guy who's attracted to people over about 115 pounds. Okay? Just isn't. And this has to somewhere come in. He also isn't attracted to people who look like men. So when we're talking about LJ Montello, right? Lynn Hunt. He's not attracted to Lynn Hunt. You can tell because Lynn Hunt looks like her name should be fucking Allen. Are we kidding here? Why would he grab her butt? If he grabbed Lynn Hunt's butt, his other hand in front of her would be expecting to grab a penis. And as gay as his pants are, I'm pretty sure Vic isn't grabbing dicks. Why are we giving credibility to these people? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is like... Look, have we seen Cuba Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend? She's got tits for days. She's blonde. She's relatively thin despite being like 39 or something like that. And we're supposed to believe that Cuba Gooding Jr. is like running around grabbing the asses of 400-pound women. Of course not. Of course not. We can't talk about this stuff. This is what pisses me off. We can't be honest about it. Anyway. Nova Zero says, and I was about to go home late on a Friday night and have melted halloumi with salt and pepper pork. Thanks for ruining my late dinner, Nick. Also, prayers for the family. Thank you for prayers for the family. I genuinely do appreciate it more than I can express by trite words on the internet. But thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. I want to read these chats. I do, but I'm just stuck in this place of being so fucking annoyed. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm getting a second wind for insults, and we might just be insulting people in just a moment. So give me a second. Chair Coon will host the show. I'll be right back. Okay. Chair Coon, were you cucking my audience, you son of a bitch? I don't know why YouTube keeps demonetizing my streams, frankly. Let me get... Let's get some Jack Daniels up in this piece. Some people out there may be under some illusions. All right. About me. And let me get a couple things out there. I think some people think, look, I make fun of people's looks a lot. But to be honest, they deserve it. But some people might think that I have some inflated sense of self, and that's not true. I'm way more humble than anybody you've ever met. I'm so humble that it's pathetic. I'm the most humble person you've ever met. All right? I'm way humble. And even in my humbleness, I could not imagine touching the disgusting heaps of garbage that are defendants in this case. Not a chance. Not a chance. But here's why. Here's why. It's because I've been around too many beautiful people. And because I've been married to Lady Rackets for a long time. And she is way, way prettier than I deserve. It's not an inflated sense of self. It really isn't. I mean that. Like, I mean that unironically. I'm consistently marveled that I'm fortunate enough to have a very beautiful spouse. Okay? But that being said, God, I hate Jack Daniels. I also have hung around enough beautiful people to know when a Kraken has washed ashore, all right? And every time I look at Arms Girl or a Jamie Markey or a Monica, I just think, good dear Christ, like how unfortunate these poor unfortunate souls, right? Like Ursula. The interesting thing is that Ursula was the ugly one, who stole the beauty from other people. But these things, we're in a place in society where we're forced to deny reality. We're forced to deny the reality that's before our eyes because of the social narrative that's in the back of our heads. All right. And yeah, this plays into Trump, right? If you see anyone less than a 9, all right, who says that Trump molested or hit on them or made a pass at them, Trump was being, whatever he did, the man was being charitable. Okay? The man's being, that was a charity play, right? That's like when Larry Page of Google walks by a homeless guy and drops $100 bill. It's like, oh, just get off the street for the night. Jesus. Right? That's what Trump is doing. If you see anything less than a 9, say that Trump did anything to them. You just go through the history of Trump's wives, and you know that he's not dealing with a 6 or in many cases like a 4. All right? How do I word this? How do I even express this? You've got these celebrities being Me Too'd. And you look at their victims, and we're supposed to just accept it, right? Listen and believe. Why listen and believe? Because if you listen critically, you'll disbelieve inherently. Can you imagine? Imagine like a 220-pound chick accusing Brad Pitt of molesting her. And you're like, but I mean, that's Brad Pitt, though. I don't get this. This is the line we're supposed to walk. This is the line we're supposed to walk. And I'm sorry, it really isn't a slight about your personal appearance or my personal appearance. It isn't. They're different. There are people for whom the dating game or the hookup game or whatever you want to call it is different than the rest of us. All right? It is. And I'm including me in the general population. Like I said, I'm very fortunate. Lady Rackets is the second person I ever dated, and I struck gold on my second swing. That first swing was barely even an attempt. But But we are out here. We're giving credibility to people whose, like, they're only 7s on a Richter scale. I'm sorry. They're I don't know how else to say it. Other than that, these guys getting Me Too'd would not give these women the time of day. It's not to say that no one would give them the time of day. It's to say their accusers wouldn't give them the accused would not give them the time of day. And we've got to come to some reality here. We've got to come to some reality. Have you seen Jamie Markey's feet? Dear Christ. I may be rude, but I sent a picture of Jamie Markey's foot to Drexel. Response I got back was not, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we're getting into the philosophical bants are embarrassing and I should stop it immediately. Look, yeah, how dare you? How dare you suggest that I have wronged that man? I have endured Drexel's texts back, okay? Listen, I have been through more than you can tell. I've been through more than you know. I've seen some shit. It's been hard. So that man is not innocent. You keep going. I'm going to keep going over on Twitch. I need to end this YouTube show. The liquor is hitting hard, and I need a little bit of food. Let me read these chats. I love you all. I do. I do. Very much. And I am so sorry to all this week have suggested that the transcript was coming and not be able to produce it. I'll produce it the moment it is released. Well, not the moment, the evening that it is released. I will. And I am so frustrated in it because the transcript not coming out at a reasonable time this week has actually really thrown a monkey wrench into my streaming. It's why I didn't stream on Tuesday. Now, I may have needed the sleep also on Tuesday, but it is largely why I didn't stream on Tuesday. I thought the transcript was coming Tuesday. I thought the transcript was coming yesterday. I thought the transcript was coming today. I have a bunch of other stuff to cover, but every day I'm waiting. And by the time close of business rolls around and I find out that there isn't a transcript available, I then am stuck scrambling to get another topic in order. And the evening is, part of my family time as well. So it's been really frustrating. So I know you guys are frustrated with that. And I am too. I'm identifying with you. Yes, there will be on Twitch. Sometimes I overthink, yeah. Show us on the sex doll where Drexel showcased he smashed the sub. Oh my god. Show of hands in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many people would buy a sex doll? I would have to get buy-in from the wife, but if I'm being honest, and I'm pretty much intoxicated at this point, so I think I am. If I'm getting buy-in from the wife and approval, that she's cool with it, I think, yeah, I'm a 1. I'd buy a sex doll. An anime one? I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not degenerate here. EVS says he's the most humble man in the world. I will out-humble that son of a bitch to death. Get a Monica one. Nobody has that much silicone. Okay, let's do this. Let's do these. Let's do these chats. Hayden 7 Days to Die says, thank you, Vic. What, for removing Jamie, or from removing Mars Girl from Twitch or Twitter? That'd be great. Pro Hero All Might says, preach it, Nick. Say what they don't want us to say. These manatees are confusing real life for their erotic fan fictions. That's the worst part of it. Austin Heartless says, Mars Girl was rolled off of Twitter for exercising her right to go-go gadget arms. Nathan Poudrier says, haven't really been keeping up to date on the Vic Mignogna situation for a while now. Is there a scheduled date for when it will be decided if the case will be appealed? No. Nathan Poudrier. The appeals are probably 6 months out. It could be faster than that. It could actually be longer than that. Steel yourselves for 6 months because it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Raider J says, let us all say a prayer to Our Lady of Fatima. Lords of Void says, first time I caught you live, love your work. Sudaquin says, sorry to hear that, Nick. My condolences. Thank you. Cowboy FMJ91 says, our thoughts and prayers to you and your family. Thank you very much. I would ask humbly that you direct your prayers more at my family than at me. I am YouTube, Twitter, Facebook have made me borderline sociopathic. So, I would, but many of my relatives, my cousins, real talk. I'll be real with you guys again. I'm real with you all the time, but I'm extra real. When I say real talk, I don't mean I'm lying every other time and I'm real now. What I mean is I'm going to get personal with you and intimate in a way, because I think like we have built a thing over the past year where intimacy is warranted. I'll be intimate with you. I love all of my grandparents very much, but I have been moved away from my grandparents since I was about 10. And I'm 37. I'll be 38 this month. So for the past 17 years, really, my relationship with my grandparents has grown thinner. I just don't see them. But almost all of my cousins live in the same town as my grandparents did. And so they saw them, they interacted with them, and they had a much closer bond. A bond that I would lie to say I wasn't a little bit jealous of. But at the same time, a bond that I was not envious of in other ways, because of the dependence that it built upon them. But that being said, this is the one grace of this situation, is by being removed from it by 1,000 miles and by 17 or 18 years now of reduced contact. It's less painful in the short run. I don't think it's less impactful in the long run. All of my grandparents individually had profound impact on me, and each one of them has sculpted a portion of me in a way that I can only describe in retrospect. And if you're young out there, let me give you some old man advice. You will be able to describe many things in your life in retrospect. There are truths about you and about your experience that you will look back on years from now and discern meaning from them that is helpful. And it would be much more helpful if you could discern it now, but God's cruel trick is that you require some experience and hindsight and distance from the event. Okay? So, with that said, I can now, because of my removal and because of my other grandparents passing, I can discern parts of me that exist from all four of them. All right? And I treasure all of those very much. And the distance has given me the ability to, until the funeral is permanence. And I will tell you just as friendly advice, friendly dad advice. Go to funerals. I hate them. I hate funerals. I hate the whole death thing. I'm very much like Jesus, right? Let the dead bury the dead. There's nothing in that that's a pile of cells that will decompose and is meaningless now. That said, go to funerals, because the permanence of the funeral is something that will hit you at the funeral, or it will hit you later at a time when you least expect it, and never be caught by emotions unexpected if you can avoid it. Go to the funeral, get the permanence out of the way. For me, when my grandfather died, the first one of the lot, my grandfather died, I missed the funeral. Because I was in Minnesota, I had a bunch of kids, couldn't make it down there. Okay? And this is fine. I didn't care that I missed the funeral because my grandpa isn't in the body. So not being there doesn't matter to him. And it only might matter to other people, and who gives a shit what they think. But what I was not prepared for was I was talking about my grandpa in a very candid setting. It was a Bible study, and not a Bible study. That's selling it short. It was a small group, and if you're a Protestant evangelical, you know what a small group means. It's a very intimate setting where you share some things. And years after my grandpa died, I was sharing with my small group an experience I had with him. And I was caught up immediately in this groundswell of emotion. And that it was, I was not prepared for it. And this is what I mean by go to the funeral. The permanence of loss didn't get to me until the reality of not being able to call up my grandpa, who I never called, right? I didn't call them, and I had a very good relationship with them. It wasn't sad or anything like that. I just didn't have phone conversations with them. I went and met them in person. It was great. But I could never call him again. I could never go get advice from him again. I never learned Polish from my grandpa. Something he offered to teach me years ago, and I was too young to appreciate what he was offering. And I could never do that. I could never go learn Polish. I could never go learn guitar. I could never go learn violin from my grandpa. Something that none of my other grandparents could do. And that permanence didn't hit me until I was sharing it with a small group. And I'm telling you, don't be caught unaware by this. If that's the one piece of advice I could give you, if I could be present at my current grandparents' passing, I would absolutely do it, because it's worth being there for the permanence of it. It's worth being there for the experience of it, because that experience will hit you when you don't want it. And it will hit you and change you in a way that you're not prepared for. And that's what I would caution against. I'm tangenting. I'm getting into my stupid meta dad phase, and I'm sorry. I hope you guys don't mind this stuff. I don't presume to have like wisdom to share with people. I really don't. But this is just something that's on my mind, and I've had enough liquor to share it with you. So anyway, moving on. General John N. Wallace says, "Sorry for your loss, Nick. You missed my first super chat, but I can't afford more than $5 at a time. God bless you, Ty and Vic. I'll pray for you all. Thank you. Thank you." NFF says, "That really sucks. Mine are all gone now." Also, General John N. Wallace says, please read the prior super chats. Thank you. I always will. I just read the $20 and up ones right away, and the others I save till the end of the show. Name says, Twitter is actually one big battle royale. The last one banned wins. It's true. Name says, who knew PUBG meant pay up gay boys? Oh my goodness. Steven says the problem with COPA is not necessarily the law itself, but how YouTube will overcorrect, and bone a bunch of creators. I don't think they will. I don't think YouTube will actually bone a bunch of creators. If I know YouTube, what they're doing right now is they are scrambling as hard as possible to figure out a way to target ads generally to children based on the content of the particular show. Now, that being said, okay. Let's delve into this very briefly. Under the settlement, YouTube is prevented from collecting individual information about a child and targeting an ad toward the child. All right? Let's get that out of the way. So little Jimmy watches Ryan unboxes toys. Little Jimmy watches Steven Universe, and little Jimmy watches My Little Pony. YouTube builds a profile on little Jimmy. This is how it's happened up until now. Build a profile on little Jimmy, and they determine what targeted advertising works for little Jimmy. YouTube can no longer do that. However, on Ryan's unboxing videos, Ryan's World or whatever it is, on the Steven Universe videos, on the My Little Pony videos, YouTube can target advertisements to the videos based on their content. And YouTube has already pledged to use machine learning to develop appropriate advertising strategies based on the content of the video itself. Look, a video with 5 million views of children unboxing My Little Pony dolls is going to get high click-through rate ads of My Little Pony. Frankly, it's gonna happen. None of that is going to change. It's just not going to be targeted to little Jimmy specifically. It'll be targeted to a class of Jimmys who all care about My Little Pony or Steven Universe or whatever. Machine learning will go into, and YouTube has said this, it's not me making this up. Machine learning will review the video while it's processing. And by the way, when I upload a video, there's about an hour to 2 hour long period of processing where YouTube's algorithm is picking apart the words that I say through machine learning. It's picking apart the literal background of my video and my stupid face. It's picking all of that. A machine AI is looking at it, and it will be determining what is in the video. And it will identify a My Little Pony, a Transformer, a Minecraft toy. It will identify whatever it is, and it will target the advertisement based on the video rather than based on the child. So the only consumer who's going to be hurt by this is the one unboxing an unpopular toy. Ryan is going to be fine, and he can fuck off. I'm so all of, oh my God, my 12 million video, my 12 million view for child targeted advertisements are gone. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're actually maybe going to be more beneficial for the creators, depending on the toy that you're unboxing or the game that you're talking about or whatever it is. Because YouTube is going to have general advertising policies towards children rather than specific targeted ones, which means that they probably just got more expensive, which means the CPM value on them is going to be higher, not lower. Guys, YouTube wants to make money. What the fuck are these people thinking? YouTube is not going to stop advertising on kids' channels. Of course not. They make a goddamn fortune from my children. And believe me, if I had any say in it, None of this shit would get advertisements because it's all garbage tier content. Thoughtless and pointless. But kids watch it because kids are thoughtless and pointless. They just are. And they love this stuff. So my kids will watch Five Nights at Freddy's walkthroughs all day and get the same trash tier advertisements that they're already getting. But it won't be based on my kid. It'll be based on Five Nights at Freddy's in general. Do we really think that... Oh, God damn it. Here I am pontificating on Copa again. All of these people... These content creators make $1 million a year and they're spurging out about Copa. They're like, oh my God, my channel's dead. No, it's not. YouTube is paying you $1 million a year because YouTube is making $3 million a year off your channel. What the hell do you think they're going to give that up? YouTube is Rick Astley, baby. They're never going to give you up and they're never going to let you down. Brian Duig says they removed the mixed audience category the law explicitly allows because they would lose money. They already have content directed ads they could apply, but they pay 80% less money than current ads. No, trust me, it's going to grow. It's going to grow because they want to foster the environment. It's going to grow. It's a temporary setback. Trust me. Because these guys will move to Mixer. They'll move to Amazon. They'll move everywhere else. Everybody. Discord is creating a YouTube alternative. Everybody's creating YouTube alternative. YouTube will compete. Make no mistake. Okay, anyways. Sorry. Name says Twitter is actually one big battle royale. The last one band wins. I read that already. Lay EG says, if this goes to court, I'd like to see Mr. Hook say gay boys in reference to defense counsel as much as humanly possible. God, I do too. D-Man DOG 56 says, ideal pizza topping combo, sausage, pepperoni, ham, etc. As much meat as you can put on it and some goddamn jalapenos or habaneros. That's it. Variety of meat, habanero, jalapeno. Man, I'm belching. I've had too much liquor. Shepherd Gray says, pouring some Balvenie 17-year Doublewood. Oh, why you do this? Why you do this? That's some good liquor. For you and yours. Had the funeral for my father recently, and this community kept my spirits up through it. My respect to you and keep up the great content. Hey, thank you, buddy. And I'm very, very happy that the community was able to provide you with some solace. F says, evening, Nick. Just made it here. Hope your evening's going well. What's the topic today? It's a smorgasbord, buddy. Big Red Bear says, asking me to like and share. Never again, Nick. Skaki Onsai says, rip 3 Minnesota Guard members crash at Pearl Lake, Minnesota. Damn. That sucks. RIP to the National Guard members. The guys who take the gamble. Peace to you. I know many good Guard members. Owen Chung says, drink fund. Thank you for informative content. Hey, thanks, buddy. Colin says, you need to learn how to pronounce Greek. My man is pronounced Hecatonchier and Tartarus. Hecatonchier and Tartarus. I don't want to pronounce Greek properly. If I pronounce Greek properly, soon I'll be having sex with men. And I don't want to do that. Bad Dragonite, thank you for the lemon emote. Siren Jag says it's not all about the looks. Sometimes it's all about the smells, or more importantly, the lack of smells. Lack of smells. Oh, trust me. There's Jamie, Marky, and Monica Rial do not lack smells. I've seen them. Big Red Bear says gravity grabbed their butts, Nick. True facts. No one important says, but Nick, that's how Me Too works. Ugly women accusing men of anything, ruining lives to make themselves feel better because they have nothing. TLJ Screwjob says, hashtag no dicks for Vic. Hashtag magical rainbow pants. Chance Kelly says, lost all my grandparents before I was old enough to know them, but lost my mom to cancer when I was 21. Lost my dad to H2S when I was 27. I feel your pain, man. I'll lift your glass to your loss. Dude, you don't feel my pain. You feel pain far beyond mine. I don't know what it'll be like losing my parents. Not looking forward to it. And I commend you. I commend you for your loss. And I offer solace and prayers for them. Bad Dragonite says, have you seen the update for Halo MCC with Reach? No. Nope. Jamie Moodley says, hello from South Africa. Love your show. First super chat, also turned 21 today. Jamie Moodley, stay safe in South Africa. I hope everything is well for you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And thank you for your first super chat. I'm happy to be a part of it. Bad Dragonite says, prayers and love for you and your family. Thank you so much. Cabria Cousins says, it's been hard, you say. Lol, happy holidays. It has been hard. It's always hard. I'm a horny old man. Cabria Cousins also says, also, can you please send good thoughts and prayers to my military peeps? Suicides have gone up a lot this year and anything helps. Yes. Yes. I will specifically, Cabria, following this stream, I will specifically pray for your military people. Fluffy Side Up says, rackets, we all know you want that Yoko doll. Lol. Jason of the Great Awakening says, we'll never forget that Soye thinks he's a sheepdog. Fluffy Side Up says, I'm sorry for your loss, Nick. But thank you for opening up to us. It means a lot. And I know what you mean about being caught off guard by emotions. Jason of the Great Awakening says, brony and single mom AI war could be great. Kuro. Tengetsu 91 says, have a friend that thinks Vic's case will bomb hard. With the appeal ongoing, if you have the opportunity to talk to someone who's on the fence about Vic being a creep, what would you say or cite? Here's what I would say. A couple things. No one has produced any evidence of Vic doing what they said he did, despite every opportunity. I would follow that up with, Funimation has specifically stated that their tweet, their statements, their public statements about Vic were not meant to imply that he engaged in sexually abusive or harassive behavior of any kind. And then I would further say this. I am pretty damn sure. Let me get close, y'all. Hear me. I am pretty damn sure that Vic has offered to Funimation to simply take down the tweet, and that Funimation has refused to do so. That is enough to settle the case. Just take down the tweet. The tweet that Funimation says doesn't say what you think. I am pretty damn sure that Vic would have settled this case a long time ago if all the defendants would do is just take down the statements that they said that were lies. That's it. And they refused to do so. And the interesting thing is, we've seen from their depositions, we've seen from their statements, we've seen from their behavior in court that they are lies. They've not won at all on the idea that Vic is guilty. They have only won on the technical rule that, quote, Vic didn't bring enough evidence to prove he wasn't guilty. That's ridiculous. Nowhere else in the world would we give credibility to this level of proof. So hopefully that's enough for you. D-Man Dog says, gonna see the Sonic movie in February? No, don't care. Gawker's Death Rattle says, here's a happier note. My dog with lymphoma just finished chemo, was given 3 weeks at 5 months now. Strong and happy days. Be well and take care. Hey, congratulations to you and your dog. Many more years to come, I hope. I'm not good at taking care of dogs or caring about them. So I'm not a dog person, but I know they do mean a lot to people who are. And I envy you and your relationship with your dog. Almost as much as I envy Alinity and her relationship with her dog. Coldfeed 2A wannabe Haunan Muhammad says, did you see Wendy's made an homage food-related RPG based on AD&D? It's on their website as a PDF. I did not. Wendy's has a great social media outreach person. And Raveling One says, my condolences, Nick. I've lost both parents in the past few weeks. They're very old, but it's tough just the same. Hugs to you and yours. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. All right, guys, that's what I got for tonight. I hope you have a good evening. I'm going to go. I will be on Twitch in a little bit. Probably 15 minutes. I got to get some food in me. Too much liquor. Too much liquor. Not enough food. I can't play the outro music yet. I will try and get it set up for tomorrow. Peace to you and yours. Peace.